I'm walking up to my car and I can see a note stuck under my windshield wiper. And I'm wondering, what is this? Did somebody hit my car while I was away and they left their contact information? Do I have a secret admirer and this is a MASH note? More likely, it's a belated birthday card from one of my classmates, but at this point I have no idea. As I get a little bit closer, I can make out the distinctive handwriting on the front of the envelope. And as I realize who this is from, I know that the game is afoot. I met Holly through mutual friends our junior year of high school. We went to different schools at different sides of the county, so we only got to hang out a handful of times that year. But I found her incredibly intriguing. She was beautiful and a funky free spirit. And when we did have those rare opportunities to talk, I always came away from our conversations smiling. Right before my senior year, I auditioned for a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the local community theater. And I got cast. And at read-through, I discovered that Holly was in the show too. So during rehearsals, I took any excuse I could make up to go and talk to Holly. And to my surprise and delight, I found that she was seeking me out too. Pretty soon our conversations took on a, is there something happening here kind of vibe? And then on one lovely November night, we confessed that we were developing feelings for each other. How to describe my relationship with Holly? It was a fairly typical high school romance with a highly atypical girl. We made each other mixtapes. It was the 80s, there were laws. But where mine to her were filled with top 40 hits by Hart and Phil Collins, she had given me deep cuts by The Cure and Suzanne Vega. She encouraged my more flamboyant side and insisted that I had to have a signature outfit. Everyone had to have a signature outfit. We came up with yellow Hawaiian shirt, black jeans, and Chuck Taylors. She worked at a library and loved literature, so she encouraged me to spend less time reading comic books and more time on novels of the non-graphic variety. The works of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Sherlock Holmes were an early choice, and having read them, I said to her, you know, I know now that he doesn't always wear that deerstalker cap, but I think I'd look pretty good in one. 6 weeks or so after we started dating, right after Christmas, I fell ill. I was on my back for weeks. When I wasn't watching game shows or eating cream of chicken soup, I was sleeping. Holly was there as often as she could be, and as what I assumed was just a bad cold got into its second week, she convinced her sister, a physician, to come and give a second opinion. Her diagnosis was strep and mono. When these illnesses started, I was my current height and just a hair under 160 pounds soaking wet. During these illnesses, I lost 20 pounds. When I did recover, it was a rough recovery. I was weak and I couldn't gather any energy. I missed a bunch of days of school at the beginning of my last semester of senior year. I was worried about not graduating. Holly was a light in the darkness through this time and kept my spirits up, got me eating again. And by the time my 18th birthday rolled around at the end of March, I was nearly my old self again. I just needed a little push to get me totally back into the light. Well, this envelope turned out to be the beginning of that push. When I realized it was from Holly, I grabbed it and opened it up. It was a birthday card, but inside she had written a poem and told me that she was inviting me on an adventure. In fact, asked that I forgive her for taking this liberty. She wrote that she was sending me on a trip of some sort, a hunt of some kind, fit for a guy who is out of his mind. I choose to believe that she meant that in a good way. From there, we were off. Each new card had a riddle for me to solve in verse, directing me to a new location. At each new location was another card and a gift. The first few places were places where we had, that were important to us in our relationship. The theater, where our romance had begun. The little alcove at the community college, where we had that conversation, saying we had feelings for each other. A place where I'd gotten to play gallant hero for her. She'd come to visit me, and on the way, she got a flat tire. Called from a nearby house, and I rode to the rescue. After these nostalgic places, she had to get me over to her side of the county. So the spots were now new to me. Her high school, the library where she worked, a small park near her house. Each card was chosen with great care and reflected something important in our relationship, a touchstone. Theater, magic, gestures. Each envelope was sealed with a red foil heart. The gifts were all perfectly suited to me, things she knew I would love. She got me a Superman coffee mug. She got me a necklace so that I could wear her high school ring. And there was money for food and gas so that neither I nor my vehicle ran out of fuel on the quest. The final stop was the one that had given her the idea in the first place. At that little park near her house, hidden away so no one would find it beforehand, was a box about this by this by this. And I open it up, and inside is my deer stalker. She told me recently that she had decided to do this hunt because she thought it would be fun to make me earn the hat. And it absolutely was a blast. The things that Holly gave me that day are now all long gone. The chain and the mug lost over the intervening 30 years. The deer stalker eaten by moths. I still have every card from that hunt in its original envelope. And I was looking over them, getting ready to talk tonight, and it was an incredibly vivid walk down memory lane. Today, Holly and I are happily married to other people. Like I said, it was a high school romance. A brief few months together, but foundational and cherished. That day, running around the county, playing detective, finding gifts, was one of the best days of my life. And I've had my fair share. And of course, that was the greatest gift that Holly gave me that day. The memory of a wonderful adventure crafted with care and creativity and love. Thank you.